We are workers, not master builders, ministers, not messiahs. We are prophets of the future, not our own. And so this evening we listen to some of the prophets in our own midst. We will hear about the foundations that were laid, the seeds that were planted over spring break.
It was so wonderful to see the students come alive, to see them settle into the rhythm. The monastery has its own particular rhythm and is really a peaceful place, but it is a place that is really alive and vibrant. And to see them settle into that rhythm, and after the week right before of doing exams and papers and just kind of all that tense stuff that students are involved in, to see them settle there. And then to get that passion and that excitement for serving others.
I learned everything, but the more I learn, the more I feel I'm not enough, and there's so many things I need to deal with and to learn with. And I feel sometimes you say, what's the meaning of the mission trip? What did you do during the just 9 or 7 or 6 days? But what you can do is yourself, is myself, is my heart. From the trip, I feel that myself is totally changed because I just opened my heart to a much wider world.
I also learned how my faith can fit into that. Just working with all of the different organizations and seeing how differently they handle the situations and kind of getting a little bit, learning a little bit from each organization. So it was definitely a mind-opening experience.
We had this interesting vision when we were planning this trip out. It didn't come out how we thought it would, but it definitely came out how it was supposed to be. We all learned about each other as a team, and we learned about different orders in the Catholic Church.
Seeing them, begin to use their skills in problem solving and leadership and cohesiveness and community was just a privilege. And then to see them actually really implement that in New York, to bring the team together.
We didn't have a lot of the cultural challenges that some of the teams confronted with a lot of abject poverty did, because the area where we were in was in need of help, but it wasn't really emotionally difficult to be there. So the work itself was probably the hardest part.
We really learned what goes on behind the scenes before, when you get there. You do have to clear the land, and when the house is done, when you furnish it, you do have to get the things from the donation warehouse. So I thought it was a really unique perspective that we got on Habitat, not just, building the house.
working on repainting windows, houses for a couple of families. And at some points we felt like it was almost superficial, like why do we need to paint when other people don't have houses? But what we realized is we were like giving these people homes that they felt like they can have something beautiful back after they had been so destroyed from this hurricane. And everyone had a different story about how it affected them.
This makes me so proud. I saw people with good hearts seeing something that bothered them and wanting to change it, wanting to fix it, wanting to do something to make things better. That was beautiful. And I also saw our students who respect the people there and respect the work that they do for themselves, in addition to wanting to help and wanting to give of us.
It was really amazing to see the level of poverty that is there, and that's like right in America. I never thought I would see that here. We're one of the richest countries in the world, and yet you have people who live in homes with no heat, no windows, no doors, no money with which to repair these things or buy these things in the first place. And I learned to be more grateful for everything I have here.
We went door to door and we were handing out rice and beans. The people were very appreciative. And I think it's what struck the students the most was just how open-hearted the people were. Very welcoming of us as strangers coming to help them out. And yet how close they lived in community, even though they didn't have a lot of the things that we take for granted.
Incredibly humbled. I think that's the thing that I can take away from this, is that seeing just the gratitude that people who have so tiny, the tiny amount that they have, and yet they can be so gracious for that amount. And here we live with Facebook and internet and cell phones, and they don't have any of that there. These kids, it's summer night, running around barefoot every single night, and when they do get a little tiny piece of luxury, whether it's ice cream or, going out to get pizza, they're so gracious, and so that's so humbling.